Boss bitch, for sure. Listen to the mind of the Terry's Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now I want to talk about what is money. Because I don't want anybody out here getting lost in money. Because look, for the most part, money is a shape and form. And we know how I speak, everything has an undertone or spiritual backing to it. So that's what you need to understand before you even get lost into any form of light, aka a shape, a form, a person, place, or thing, a gas, a residual, anything that's outside of you, external in the yang realm. Before you get lost in that, understand the yin version of it. Understand the shapeless, formless realm of it. Understand the energy signature of it. And understand how that energy signature moves so you can know what kind of vortex your motherfucker spirit is jumping into or not. Now, for the most part, let's talk about money. What the fuck is money? Now, money comes from the energy signature of currency. Now, what is currency? A currency comes from an energy signature of a give and receive, a gift and exchange, a bargain and gain. You know what I'm saying? So this is a system that was created. Now, for the most part, we need to know as spirits, we're fighting for space because your spirit is your space. So since we're in an overall spirit, all of our spirits make up that overall spirit, which will, what I call is an oversoul, a fourth dimensional being. You know what I'm saying? Before it become a fifth dimensional being, which is a planet and then a sun that can control. That's going to another video. But for the most part, when we talk about as spirits, we're fighting for space. So it plays out through the physical as us fighting against ideas, fighting against thoughts, fighting against concepts. So for the most part, depending on the conscious level, is how we're going to interact as us fighting for space as spirits. So say you're in the conscious body of a human. You can look at an animal. An animal has their conscious level and their travels was only able to develop the kind of brain that they have. So what does this mean? We're all testing each other's bodies. You know what I'm saying? That's what we basically doing. So on the lowest conscious level, when you get to bugs and animals, you see the spirit fighting for space play out through that conscious physical form. So those spirits, you'll see animals, the way they play in things of that nature is fighting and shit like that because they're testing each other's body. But the overall spirit, the overall is just really just it testing its own body, testing its own limits. But we're the many perceptions and offsprings within that body. So so now since we're humans, right? We're a higher form of consciousness. So the brains we're developed, we're testing our mental bodies. So we're fighting just like animals, just in a higher realm, not in an animalistic way. So this is where you get things like debate, intellectual competitions, and then when we interact and have debates and compete against knowledge or who's smarter or who has the most conscious awareness, we're able to develop a higher sense of awareness. And really the overall body we are in, that's just that body, that being becoming smarter. Now, for the most part, so now that you understand this, I'm going to get you in the concept of understanding currency and the bargain and gain system. Now, we know that your source, you're already rich. You're already a millionaire. I don't give a fuck if you don't believe it or not. You are a millionaire. So if you're not rich in spirit, it's because you're down low and you're giving too much of your spirit to the physical realm, to your layers, to the things you're consciously aware of, to the external realm, to the yang realm. So therefore, that's like selling your soul, giving your time, giving your experience, paying too much attention to things outside of you where these shapes and forms really don't replace what you're giving off, which is your true spirit. So now that you understand that, paying attention, key word, pay attention. So you are paying, but what money are you paying? You're paying with your currency, your energy, your spirit. Now, like I said, you are a millionaire. So this is why the motherfucking government keep using you as a motherfucking battery cell, because you are a cell, and thought and the ancient Kemet and these first words and letters and those gods are trapping you in those cells. And then when y'all go with y'all religion and Bibles, these are just teaching you when you go spiritually against the government, and it's playing out physically. So everything you see out physically, like the government and shit like that, is playing out like that spiritually also. So those are spiritual authorities, and the same way you look at the government or presidents, that's the same way you should be looking at a spirit that's putting you in that same kind of frequency. Because those spirits, the beings that you see in the bodies that's playing out as governments and your policies and the economy and stuff like that y'all see, those are nothing but the family of the spirits that y'all worship. But y'all worshiping the spirits of their family like it's something different. And it's not. This is why you keep having to comply with law and government to play out physically, to the point that you think your religion telling you to respect the land and the law physically also. So for the most part, it's just getting crazy. But when you pay attention, right, that's you giving your true currency, your true money before it turns into money in the shape and form. And this is what you need to understand is currency. It's an energy. So anytime you pay attention to something, you're paying. Now you always going to get what you pay for. Now, for an example, like I said, you a millionaire. So the more you pay attention to something, the more energy you give to something, the more money you giving something, spiritual currency you giving something. So the bigger whatever you pay for, you're going to get back. So this is why I say be careful what y'all motherfuckers is paying attention to. Because the more you pay attention to it, if it's some shit that your spirit don't want, or it's some shit that your conscious awareness don't need to be in, then the shit that you just bought is going to be some big ass shit that you got no use for. And you ain't even going to know why you bought it. So think about a negative person that's always paying attention to robbing and stealing. They put a lot of energy into robbing and stealing. The price that they pay, that they get back from that shit, be some big shit. So spiritually, they be in a jail, they end up going to jail. Or they end up getting killed. Or they end up, you know what I'm saying, the price that they pay back from that shit, you get what you pay for. So pay attention to what the fuck you paying attention to. You see what I'm saying? So that's the true currency. So for the most part, you got a bunch of society and other governmental or hierarchy systems and things out here who have you pay attention to certain things, right? But they use you as like a worker. So the more you pay attention and give that energy, right? They set up certain, with their spirits and their groupings and illuminated niggas and shit like that, they create shapes and forms and put energy into it to make you think that this is something that you want. And in order for you to get it, you got to sell, aka, or pay attention to enough of that and give enough energy to that in order to get a piece of that shape and form to replace what you have missing with the money you gave off. You see what I'm saying? So that is true currency. Currency is whatever you pay attention to, that's whatever you're buying spiritually. Right? And the more you pay attention to it, that's the more spiritual money you give it to it. The less you pay attention to something, that's the less money you give to it. So just think about it. In the spiritual realm, you are a millionaire. So just think about how much y'all pay attention to fear. How much y'all pay attention to y'all religion. So think, y'all motherfuckers millionaires. Y'all got big ass castles and houses of some shit that's no use for you. You still ain't fulfilled. You find yourself going broke, but you can never go broke spiritually, but it's never fulfilled because you paying it all on shit that don't fulfill you. The physical yang, shape, and form shit. You see what I'm saying? Now, here's a person who's truly... Now, everybody has a spirit, so everybody is a millionaire. So just think about the certain things that you pay attention to that in that energy source and vortex may have a lot of energy source that's already in it. So that means a lot of shapes and forms could be took out of it. Think about it. It's mad spirits that been in bodies that then added ideas and concepts to that one vortex, one energy, aka maybe a business. Maybe it could be the music industry, the movie industry, the motherfucking entertainment industry, the motherfucking sports, and whatever concepts that a lot of other beings came in and added on to, that's a vortex energy that's already got a lot of source to it. So that means in the shapeless and formless realm, whoever accessed that can create shapes and forms out of that a lot faster than any other that. But those sources be created, right? That realm be created by other spirits. So they be having agendas and things and rules and laws that you got to go with and terms and agreements that you got to agree to. I mean, terms and conditions that you got to agree to in order to apply yourself in that realm of reality. And it plays out physically. You know what I'm saying? You want to go get you some physical money, so you got to go get a job. So you got to agree to the terms and conditions and the rules and the laws at that job and go to protocol in order to get that shape and form that you want out of it, aka money, to replace what you have lost, aka the time and experience you gave to that job. And a lot of times that don't even fulfill you. That's why you go home and mad and look at your paycheck like, man, these motherfuckers paying me pennies and I'm here giving my motherfucking life away. You see what I'm saying? This shit goes that, and y'all motherfuckers can't even retire the time that y'all really want to retire anymore. This shit is fucking deep. But we shouldn't get lost into somebody else's concept of this currency. Like I said, the letters, signs, symbols, sigils, shapes, and forms that we give certain energies is this a piece of what the overall energy is doing. And you got some high vibrational ass spirits, aka the government and these motherfuckers coming together to condense that energy and play that energy out in this realm of reality the way they see fit in their imagination. So everybody is going along with the concept of the money shape and form, where really that energy that's backing money could come in any way, shape, and form. For an example, if you're very rich in spirit, like me, and very rich in spirit, then your blessings, don't ever use blessings, because you'll never be less. But in y'all minds, I have to use some of y'all limitation words and languages just for y'all to understand what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? For y'all to get blessings and things of that nature, you need to be spiritually rich. So therefore you won't be lost in the physical. So your blessing you won't be attached to thinking it can only come in the form of money. So your currency that's back in supporting money could come in any way, shape, and form. A person, place, or thing. A person, place, or thing could come in your life and help you way more than somebody giving you a lot of money. Like I was speaking about, if you are already spiritually weak and you got a bunch of people who create spiritual crutches for you, then I could come sit $1 million on your lap right now and you will still find a way to fuck that up and go broke. So that ain't the motherfucking thing. That ain't the motherfucking issue. You just got a fucked up spirit and you're spiritually broke. So it don't matter how much riches you see that took manifestation and became in a yang realm. From that realm, you get those things and still be lost because you spiritually broke. So this is what you need to understand. You need to become spiritually rich. That means, aka, pay attention to things that correlate to your spiritual enlightenment, that give information that your spirit wants to experience, and not some lostness that you put your spirit in and your spirit get lost in the light, aka the people, places, and things and the locations you around in the environment, and then you end up paying more attention, aka giving your spirit more to these things, to the point that your spirit, the light, act like a prism. Everything you see that's created up under this sun is illusion. Yang, light, prism, crystal, prism. So anytime you pay too much attention to anything that's created outside of this realm, the physical is just a higher, dense, non-physical light to the less. I don't give a fuck what it could be, a mental thought concept that somebody gave you. That's just a less version of this motherfucking light, because it's that kind of imagination, and that spiritual person wasn't wise enough to know that they got that from this sun. So for the most part, or these stars. So for the most part, you need to be a person who can understand that spiritual richness is paying attention to the things that correlate more to your spirit, and not the ones that's correlating to you having to give your spirit to other things. And then once you learn how to jump rope and balance, learn how to give a little, take a little, and you could be in a realm where you have no regrets, or you be in a realm where you don't feel like you're doing shit out of your own means, or you got too many responsibilities holding you down, aka, like I said, the light. The more you pay attention to things, the more you put your spirit into these lights. Now, light can become non-physical to physical, and the more you pay attention, that means the more light you add on to something, the more dense. So the more dense, the more heavy, the more it weigh your spirit down, because you lost into that spirit, you lost into that physical form. So it'll weigh your spirit down, all that light, and it'll be a condensed light to the point that it'll be so heavy, it'll become a light like Saturn, to the point that light don't even reflect anymore. So yeah, it's so heavy, it can sustain its position. It don't have to move. Other stars rotate around it, and motherfucker, it can be happy and rule over other people who want to get to that level. But in some way, shape, and form, your ass gonna have to practically move and transform in one way, shape, or other. Can't be the lord of just one realm of reality forever, because your ass gonna go through a catastrophic moment that everybody remember, just to motherfucker transform your ass. You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to become like Saturn is just showing you how to become lost in the physical and have a lot of light on your name. You got a big name. You got a big something on you. So you could become a physical planet in the spirit, but you get way down, you're going to have a lot of responsibilities. I'm telling you, those kind of lights don't reflect light. Yeah, they become big ass wombs, like female light. This is why the earth element is correlated to the feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? This shit go motherfucking deep before we even talk about any goddamn shape and form in this realm of reality. You see what I'm saying? So in this realm, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to become a planet like Saturn unless you got common sense. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got no common sense and know how to make sense out of your reality, trying to become like Saturn, like be a wear and tear on your motherfucking spirit. You'll have so many responsibilities, you can't handle yourself. You'll manifest all this money, all these names, all these people, everything on your name. People, when you die, people, I wish he was, or she was still here, this, that, and third. Your ass will never be able to live this position. You will have to come up with justifications on why you like ruling over others, or why you like to sustain this position, or you just have to be a fucked up spirit to the real sick one to like that and want to stay there forever. But for the most part, shit, you don't want to do that. Trust me, there's a lot of other beings that I can point you to that you can see where that shit ends. Saturn, one of them. Saturn having a good time right now, but Saturn just following Lucifer. Like Jesus and all them is just little offsprings of Lucifer, and Lucifer just coming back trying to obtain his followers. Like, look, y'all, this how I'm about to reach the egg, so y'all can reach the egg like me. So everybody everybody here right now is even created out of that motherfucking spirit, trying to reach the egg like Lucifer. I don't give a fuck what religion you in. That's just those offsprings of the Lucifer spirit, all trying to reach the egg the same way Lucifer did. So this is why y'all all taking turns and have to go through trial and tribulation and turmoil and go under set of governments and laws just to reach it, because that's the form of follow the leader. Y'all all at the water fountain waiting in line to reach the egg. Fuck all that shit. I'm skipping a line. I didn't find my own way to reach the fucking egg. Duh. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to. And then when I reach the egg, I'm not even being birthed in the same family and world. Y'all being born into the spirit that y'all following. So y'all gonna be born into that family and still have the same thoughts and ideas and concepts and still be doing the same thing you doing now. Getting up, going to church, then you become a son, then you actually following through the vortexes and paths and of trying to find the actuality of the energy of that person. Then once you get to the 7, 8, 9 levels of life, then you're doing that fucking again. You always waiting, and you always waiting. Then it come out, then it get played out through all these forms as you waiting for a savior and shit like that. Like you always waiting. That big ass energy signature of waiting. Y'all need to get the fuck out of that shit. You ain't gotta wait for shit. This shit is deep, man. I don't think y'all get it, man. When we talk about the motherfucking spirit, the spirit is beyond shape and form. And as spirits, everything here is just mimicking. So the same way you living in the physical, it's like that in the spirit world. But we really fighting for space there. We really fighting for space. Nigga, I would kill your mental concept and idea about this realm of reality before I let you threaten my conscience. That's how we kill in that realm, nigga. Killing ain't nothing in that. Y'all think killing down here is something. Killing ain't shit there. But at least you get to transform and come into lower denses and realities and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why death is fun. I don't know why y'all look at shit the way y'all look at it, but it's not that. I'm telling you, it's not that. Quit adding these emotional attachments to what y'all be seeing outside of you and what y'all think is going on and what y'all think these men didn't taught y'all was going on. It has nothing to do with that. It's for real. You can smile every day, no matter what's going on. You can. You know what I'm saying? So, shit is deep, man. But yeah, talking about money. Money is backed and supported by the energy signature of currency, which came from the certain spirits that wanted to share their space together. So they was like, okay, I give a little your space, you give a little my space. It started off harmonious. So in these realms, when we was blood cells creating the brain and shit like that, in these realms, you know what I'm saying, as spirits, when we took those lighter bodies and went into those as spirits to possess those and became mind cells and shit like that, we was like fighting for space, but we had some harmonious ones. We were like, okay, I give a little, you give a little. So it played out as in like concepts. It played out as in like concepts and ideas. You know what I'm saying? So you give a little bit. So this is how we started building. You add your idea and I had my idea. You started getting some spirits that was in our in bodies and shit who came and started being disgruntled. Like, nah, just started taking. Like, nah, you give what I give, but then I got this. And then they started having so much, they started selling what they have. Start selling concepts and ideas and shit. And then it gets manifested in a bunch of different shapes and forms. And then we got things down here like today. We exchange fruits from each other, exchange foods, exchange labor, exchange monies, exchange for a shape and form. It's a lot of gift and exchange, but you have to pay. But the way you pay became so condensed and dense in so many lights and shapes and forms ruled by other goddamn big ass dragonfly. Dragonfly, yeah, hey, come back, motherfucker. Get in this motherfucking video. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It ain't got so motherfucking condensed that, you know what I'm saying, you didn't have other people who didn't came up with ideas on how to make that condensed, so they rule over that shape and form. So since that shape and form looks so pretty and looks so nice, everybody just so ready to give their spiritual currency to that shit just to get the physical version of that shit. But really the physical version of that shit came from the spiritual version of that shit. So if you spiritually rich, your money will come in any kind of shape and form, not even just money, but whatever you're paying attention to. If what's ever needed to sustain that realm of reality takes money, then the universe will make sure that money pop up in your existence in order to use to go into that realm of reality. But you always have to be spiritually rich first. If you get what I'm saying. If you too left brain and not spiritual, you is not going to understand any of this video. You see what I'm saying? Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air. And that's motherfucking money. So y'all be careful with thinking that money is the motherfucking green pieces of paper that you got in your motherfucking pocket on them coins. You need to be spiritually rich. And really ain't got nothing to do with the shape and form. It's really your currency. So be careful what you are paying attention to. And the more you pay attention to stuff that cater to your spiritual nature and that make you spiritually feel good, you're getting more spiritually rich. And goddamn, a shape and form of some currency gonna come out of that. And in this realm of reality, since we in Earth, 9 times out of 10, a lot of this shit is ruled by the shape and form of how the money look. So 9 times out of 10, whatever you get into, if you spiritually rich, you're gonna be that type of person who be able to formulate some of the physical version of the currency out of it, which is motherfucking money. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn, we're spiritual billionaires, goddamn it.